Oh, hi. I'm John from John's Comics with Kids, and you're watching S. Vaughn 82's channel on another episode of Comic Book Addicts. Enjoy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Comic Book Addicts. I messed up the beginning there, but oh well, we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to Comic Book Addicts. This is episode 56. It's Monday, February 26th. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Monday. I hope that all of you are doing well, and I hope that your week is going great so far. I've took the past couple of days off of work and have just took some time to kind of regroup and a little mini vacation, I guess you could say. And I feel like that's kind of something important to do sometimes because mental health and all that stuff, stress, work-related stress is real, definitely. And it's something that definitely affects me. So it's good for me to take breaks like that from time to time and putting in vacation time, having the vacation time to being fortunate enough to have vacation time to put in for that is pretty cool. It's a good thing. And but anyways, I hope that everybody's doing well. It's Monday, so Monday also means Monday night lineup. Wanted to talk about that this just for a minute before we bring the guest out. We got a great group of live streams going on this evening. We had Izzy at Izzyverse NYC. He got things started with his comic book weekly pull list. He starts it off every week at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, and it's always a lot of fun. He runs through the Hot 10 list, and just a lot of fun over there. He does a weekly giveaway, and so if you're into that type of thing, be sure to check it out every week at 6:30. Then, of course, Comic Book Addicts. We'll circle back to that here in just a minute, though, because I want to talk about Between the Lines. Those guys have a good show tonight. It's going to be at Geek Out with Roscoe's channel, and they will have special guest Alex Donovan. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Be sure to check that one out at 8:35 p.m. Eastern time. And then one of my favorite comic book related live streams, really probably of all time, is 22 Comics. He has a great thing going over on his channel at 9 p.m. He does his top 10 alternatives. He takes the hot 10 list and then he gives you his alternative to that list. Some kind of cold picks, I guess you could say, things that aren't on the hot 10 list that would be good to go after right now. Good to go after. I don't know, but it's really cool. Just check it out. It's a really cool thing he's doing over there. But that's at 22 Comics at 9 p.m. every Monday. And then rounding off the night, we got Couple Comics at 10 p.m. Eastern time. He does the Monday Night Raw books, just a cool comic book related hangout. And also, speaking of awesome comic book related live streams, I wanted to talk about a special live stream that's going on this evening. We actually have Coffee and Comics. The return of Coffee and Comics with Bob and Bueller. That's going to be this evening, right after this live stream. It's going to be over at Comics with Bueller. And I'm looking forward to this, man. This has been a long time coming, and I'm looking forward to seeing these two guys hang out together again. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be talking to him a little bit about this, as well as a lot of other things. But first, circling back to Comic Book Addicts, I put together a a new revised schedule for early 2024, kind of showing you guys the guests that are coming up for the next couple of months. So we got some really good guests. So I hope that you guys will come back and hang out with me every Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, 4:30 Pacific. But enough of my blabbing, because we got an awesome guest tonight. My guest this evening is a returning guest, having appeared on Comic Book Addicts one previous time. And also he came and hung out with me on my 1K giveaway, which was really cool. But this guy is such an important part of this comic book community, I feel like, that I just had to get him back. He recently dropped a video titled How YouTube Saved My Life. That is really touching video and great introduction to the man if you aren't familiar with his story. He leads by example and has at times carried this community on his back. I really feel like that. And he's one of my favorite people in the community. So y'all help me welcome Travis, Comics with Bueller.
Hey, what's up, my friends?
What's up, Travis? Hello.
Nice to be back.
Thank you. Well, thanks for showing up and hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well this evening.
I am doing great, man. And I saw that list of people that are coming up on the show. I saw Black Box Comics on there, which I thought was pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that one among the others. But obviously, I have a relationship with them, have for quite some time. So that'll be kind of cool. But yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm sitting out here in the Arizona sunshine in the desert. It's a little cloudy today, but still in the upper 70s and stuff. And just enjoying my time, man. So I can't complain one bit. I see a lot of people in the chat. Hopefully everyone is doing good tonight.
Man, we got a lot of people in the chat. DJ Links, Wellbore, Unruly Simeon. What's going on? I hope everybody's doing well this Monday. Thanks for showing up, guys. I really appreciate it. Digger Jim, Couple Comics. I mentioned him a few minutes ago. He will be live at 10. We got Frog Brawler, Collecting with Durs, one of my favorite people in this community also.
Frog Brawler. I like that name. That's pretty good.
Frog Brawler's awesome. It's awesome.
That's pretty good.
He's a cool guy. Kenneth
Nice.
Berg, what's going on, man? Welcome. Shooting down the list, Las Cruces. What's going on, man? Appreciate you showing up. We got Lady Fantastic, a Tennessee native from Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you for showing up, Lady F.
Did you know something about her? You want to know something about her?
What? What about her?
She's fantastic.
She absolutely is fantastic. She really is.
That's a dad joke right there.
Absolutely. But she is a close friend of mine. Caroline is awesome. She's in Nashville. So shout out to Nashville. And shout out to the UK and Dr. Von Hoot. Thank you for tuning in, brother. I hope you're doing well. Just making sure we got everybody. I think we don't. We got Izzy versus NYC, who opened the night. You had a good show, good live stream, Izzy, kicking off the Monday night lineup. You did well over there with the Comic Book Weekly pull list. Thanks for showing up, man. I think that's everybody. No,
I saw my good buddy John Stout, and he's in there. It's my Portland buddy. I miss that guy. We hang out quite a bit when I'm in town.
John Stout, Brian LCS, what's going on, man? John Stout, where did I miss John Stout?
My buddy Jonathan Hedrick is in the chat right now. I just was chatting with him earlier today. He's the writer of Dream Master. He just started volume 3.
Yeah.
And he's got other books that you're aware of as well. Capable, Quicksand, Still Blood, which was a Kickstarter, and I think he's got another Kickstarter going on right now as well.
Can I Scream with his?
There you go. That's the one with the jail cell guy. So I'm curious about that one. But yeah, he's a good dude. I just chatting with him probably just within the last hour or so.
Jonathan's an awesome dude. He's actually been a guest here before on Comic Book Addicts. He was an awesome guest. I had a great time. Hopefully we can get him back on someday when Can I Scream comes out or something like that. I pre-ordered that one. That one looks really good, by the way, Jonathan. Very thanks for showing up, man. Comic Cap Collectibles. Damn, the chat's popping. Justin, what's up, man? 3 Good Nerds. Uncanny Swag, what's up? Swag. I was hanging out with those guys the other night over on Spine Tick Saturday night. That was a really good time. But anyways,
they're all showing up tonight because we're going to be dropping secrets and announcements.
Secret announcements, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just made that up, but you never know. You never know.
You don't know. You never know what's going to come up. But it's been a year since you've been here. So what's been going on since in the past year since you've been here last?
You know what? Just life, man. Life in general, and I've been enjoying, trying to enjoy every moment of it. And you're right, it was about a year ago when I came on here. I think circumstances was with us as well.
Yes, he was. He was.
You're holding the reins down, so it's just me and you. So we get a little bit more private time. but you know, it's been a fun year. There's a lot has changed over the year as far as like just my. I'm still on the road. I'm still traveling, still doing all that. You know, that's not slowing down anytime soon. New sponsors are on board. Old sponsors are off board, you know, and stuff like that. And you roll with the punches. And one of the biggest things is I just really focus on getting healthy over the past year and taking care of myself. So that's kind of probably the biggest thing, you know, that's changed. And I'm going to be a grandfather in July. So I'm gonna my daughter's expecting. She told me on New Year's Eve, which is a total surprise. Her and her boyfriend, Eder, just a really great guy. She's in a really good place in her life. They both are, and they're gonna have a little boy, and it'll be in July. And my first grandchild. So I'm really excited for that. And
congratulations.
Yeah,
congratulations.
things are going really well. So I can't complain at all. So I want to be the cool grandpa You know, that's kind of my next chapter, you know, and stuff. So, and you know, so it means a lot. So a lot of good.
That's so cool, man. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be really cool. I'm happy to hear that for you.
Yeah, my grandson's first comic book in his collection is a Hulk 181. So I mean,
wow,
that's his first book. So that he's starting off right. You know,
yeah. What a good way to start off.
That's the way I look at it. So he better like comics, man, because he's starting with a banger right off the bat.
Man, I certainly hope so. That is awesome. One thing I've noticed over the past year is that you've sort of stayed over on the West Coast for the most part in your travels, but where all have you been bus wise in your travels?
You're pretty much right, except for you know, flying out of state and stuff. I flew to New York, flew to Orlando, places like that.
Okay.
But I pretty much stayed west of Texas for the most part, and throughout the last year, I did a whole trip through all the states and then into Texas and stuff like that, and then back around. And I was kind of just like knocking off states as far as like, okay, we're gonna go to Colorado. We're gonna hit as many comic shops in Colorado as we can. You know, we're gonna go to New Mexico. We're gonna hit all the shops in New Mexico. You know, and so I started doing that. So that's you know, if you look at you can kind of my Instagram, and I've been since the seasons has changed. You know, it's like I don't want to be traveling in the East in the wintertime. So for the wintertime, I just stay where the weather's nice. So I'm mainly just in New Mexico and Arizona, you know, type areas. And I've already gone to all the shops around here, so they're kind of crossed off the list. But for the most part, west of Texas is where I've been for like the past year. And before that, I was on the eastern part of the United States, all the way up, you know, to New York and, you know, Chicago and Boston and all those places up and down, you know, and went and saw you, obviously, you know, on that trip when I was heading towards Florida. So I've been all over, but this year mainly I'm like, let's stay over on this side, get some states crossed off the list, and then we'll head on over to the eastern part as the weather gets nicer and stuff like that. So that's kind of where my focus is. But as of the last couple months, I've been pretty much in the Arizona area for the last 2 months. Before that, I was back in Oregon, my home state. I was actually home. I was gonna leave, and then my dad, his health took a turn, so I stayed home for about 3 months at my dad's place and was taking care of my dad and stuff. And then I was gonna do a trip through California and hit all the shops through California, but that I had to push that off and kind of wait until. And maybe I'll do it next time. So I don't know for sure. But yeah, I was in Oregon for about 3 months at my dad's.
Well, you always have time to do that later. Your father's the most important thing, you know, when his health's like that. And, you know, you did the right thing. You'll have time to do all that later. So,
yeah, there's like my travel. It's not a race. You know, I tell people all the time, it's not a race. It's not like I got to do this before a certain time. I'm going to travel for as long as I want to. If I don't want to travel next month, I'm going to stop. But if I want to keep traveling for the next 4 or 5 years, I'm going to do it. You know, so there's no time frame. You know, it's just whatever I feel like doing. You know, I'm going to do it. So it's eventually. I tell people all the time, hey, you know, I hope you come here. I go, well, eventually I will be there. It might not be next week, but eventually I'll be there. You know, eventually I'll make it to Dallas, or eventually I'll make it to Baltimore or something like that. You know, so eventually
you'll make it. I'm sorry. Do you think that you might make it out to Heroes Con this year? Brian was wanting to know.
No, it's the same week, and Heroes Con is always like the same week of my con in Washington State, and Washington State Summer Con, which I am like the host of, and I kind of run the comic book portion of that Comic Con, and so I'm always really it's either the same weekend or the weekend before or the weekend after, and it's just, you know, it's a kind of it takes a lot of stuff to do to get the booth set up and take care of everything, get everything lined up. So it kind of, I'm unless HeroCon or SummerCon change their dates dramatically, I'll probably not be able to make it to HeroCon anytime soon, you know, over the next few years.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it's important that you do your thing over there at that con. Sounds like you play a pretty big role in that. So
yeah, it's a lot of fun because we get free reign to we do all the panels. Me and Bob
Mhm.
do them and stuff like that. We host
Oh,
all
cool.
the guests. I even get to pick some of the guests we want. Like we wanted Capullo and Snyder one year, and I was like, can we get Capullo and Snyder? And we were able to get both of them to come. So I have a decent amount of input when it comes to the comic end of the con. So it's a lot of fun.
Cool. That sounds fun. I wanted to ask you one big thing that I've noticed since you've been here in the past year is this whole health journey thing that you've kind of been on. You've been doing the hiking thing, documenting these hikes in the desert, and doing some hill climbing, rock climbing type stuff. It's really been fun to watch. But what are some of your favorite places that you visited over the past year on these hikes?
Well, I really like the desert, and I'm a fan of the desert. I like the solitude of it. That's kind of my thing. You know, I love going to Orlando, and I love going to MegaCon and being around 100,000 people and playing and having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as soon as I get the chance to go and literally park out in the middle of nowhere where there's nobody around for 50 miles, I'm there. You know, and that's kind of my thing. Arizona, I was in Palm Canyon, which is just a beautiful hike up into this canyon that has palm trees just growing out of nowhere on the side of this mountain. And
I saw that.
Really, yeah, it's a really beautiful place, and I was able to camp there for like 2 weeks. And it's just, you know, people go there. It's not like there's nobody there, but you'll see people come out every now and then, you know. But you know, Colorado Springs has been really nice. I'm not really good with names as far as the places I've gone to be honest. Which kind of sucks because I wish I take. That's why I take so many pictures. The pictures remind me of where I went. As far as what they're called, I struggle at that. Another one of the places I like, it's called Sawtooth Canyon, which is out in Barstow, California.
Okay.
And it's just a big, huge. The mountains look like scales of Godzilla coming out of the ground, and they're just all around you. And it's like 20 miles off the freeway out in the middle of nowhere and stuff, you know, and you know, the night sky is just beautiful and stuff. You see all the stars and everything. But really, I mean, I've been to, every now and then I hit a nice casino, you know, and I like that as well. You know, I went to a casino called Terrible Casino on the way going through Nevada, and I won like $300, you know, off a $20 bill. So I mean,
awesome.
you never know. I'm not a huge gambler, you know, but you never know. So
I don't have luck like that. I lose my money. I just lose money.
I really liked, you know, New York kind of threw me for a little. New York City was great, but then I went to the Adirondacks in New York, which is the northern part of New York, and that's awesome. It looked a lot like Oregon. I was really surprised, you know. So I mean, there's been a lot of places I really enjoyed. There's some places I didn't enjoy. I didn't enjoy Texas, and I say that, and people are like, oh, people from Texas get pissed off when I say that. But here's the thing: I didn't like the landscape of Texas. There's a difference. The landscape of Texas wasn't for me. It's really flat. There's not really much going on the areas I went to. The people in Texas were really nice. I enjoyed the people and I enjoyed the food. So those two things were great. But the landscape is it's really flat. There's not really much going on. And you just drive for hundreds of miles in a straight line, and you're like, okay, you know,
nothing.
What?
Yeah, literally, like in the cowboy movies, you get those little tumble things rolling by, and that's all you see for miles. Yeah, I've been out there before in Texas and Texarkana and places like that. It's flat for miles as far as you can see.
Like your background, like I was telling you earlier, your background right now that we're looking at, that's like where I'm at right now. That's like just a couple minutes away from where I'm at. That's the places I camp. That's where I go to and stuff. And as long as my rig can make it out, I will push it as far as it can go. I mean, sometimes I'm like, well, it's a little too rough for there. I can't get my vehicle out there. So this is as far as I can go. And that's when I wish I had a 4x4 and could go a little bit further. So the more isolated, the better.
Still looks like you make it to some pretty damn cool places, though. And my background was a quick Google search: Arizona desert.
Yeah, that's basically what it is out here. And there's a lot of you know, there has been some. It's been a little bit more rainy this year, which is kind of good because there's a lot more vegetation right now. There's a lot of really cool desert flowers and stuff like that. But You mentioned my health journey, and part of my health journey is getting out there and enjoying the places I go to, because that's really what kicked it off.
Yes.
I started this traveling thing 2 years ago, and I was going to these cool places, and I was so out of shape I couldn't enjoy them. I was like, well, this is I'm just wasting my time. I'm okay. I looked at this place and was like, man, I can't wait to go there. Then I go there, and I'm like, I can barely walk, 50 yards without catching my breath. I was like, well, this sucks, man.
I've been there.
This is not what I wanted to do. And I just got pissed off. And I'm like, I got to change. I can't, I got to take care of myself. Now I'm out there. I'm going to the places I want to go to. I want to enjoy them. And I remember the first time I went to that Sawtooth Canyon that I mentioned before. I remember the first time going there, I couldn't do it. I couldn't go hiking. I couldn't do anything. It's like, I was like, this is a waste of time. And then I went back a year later, and I could enjoy my surroundings, and now I can do it even more. So that's what kind of kicked off my journey to kind of really take care of myself. And I mean, I told you earlier, we met in person, and you probably saw me at my heaviest, which is about 320, 330. And I floated around that weight, give or take some pounds here and there over the years for quite some time, definitely over the 300 mark. And, that's not a healthy weight to be, for anyone really. And even though I'm a tall guy or whatever, it's still not healthy and stuff. So I was like, I got to drop quite a bit of weight. And that's kind of what's going on. It's kind of weird because, like, I noticed, like, there's parts of me that aren't there anymore. Which sounds kind of gross. It's like, I remember I used to be able to grab this thing right here on my arm. It's not there anymore. The flab is gone. So I was like, where did it go?
Dude, you've lost so much weight, and I'm so proud of you, man. And I feel like you really you put out this motivational stuff, but you practice what you preach, and you lead by example. And it's just a really cool thing that you're doing with your channel. And it actually kind of led me to my next question. I was going to ask you, you've dropped a significant amount of weight and seem to be living much more healthy. How much weight would you say how much weight do you think you've lost over the last year?
I think if I go by my heaviest, about 330, okay, like when you saw me, and I think right now I'm probably sitting around 250, which is about 80 pounds. And still, like, 250, people are, oh, that's still a heavy weight, but I'm a big guy. I don't want to be much less than 250, to be honest. I can carry 250 pretty well, and it doesn't look like I'm 250. And so it's important to me because I don't want to get too much, lose too much more weight. I just want to be more toned, and more, so I've started, instead of I still do my hikes and stuff, and my walks, I walk 10,000 steps every day. But now I've been started to lift weights, and I have a weight set. I actually have a weight bench that I bought, and some weights and a kettlebell that I've been using to kind of, just get toned and stuff like that, because now I dropped the weight. And one thing I did, I bought like a weight vest, because I was like, I was walking and I've lost so much weight, and now it's easier to walk. So now I put a weight vest on when I go on a hike or a walk or something like that to add the weight, just so to make it a little bit more. So it's like a 30-pound weight that I put on. So, but I'm 50 is right around the corner. I'll be 49 this year, so I'm a year away from 50 after that. And I want my 50s to be really good. I really want to have some fun. My 50th birthday, I'm planning on going to go skydiving. That's my 50th birthday. And so cool. I really want to do some really fun things and stuff. And I feel really good, man. I really do. It's like I feel like I'm in my mid-20s again. Good. And it's just it's awesome. It's awesome because it has taken a lot of work, and it has been a lot of me changing my diet, which is a big thing. I was
going to ask you what the key would be so changing your diet up.
Changing the diet, one thing. My daughter used to do the fitness stuff, before COVID hit and stuff. So I kind of asked her, I said, Paige, what do I need to do to kind of make this happen? And she's like, you need to eat protein, you need to do this and that. And so I started doing that. So it's like dropping some of the stuff, like like, and so everyone knows this is just sparkling water, so it's not alcohol or nothing. But I have a drink every now and then, but not very much. But it's mainly just like, okay, I don't eat a lot of carbs. I wheat bread if I do, and like steak and chicken and tuna fish and stuff, and a lot of protein based stuff. And it works. It really does work. It makes a huge difference, man. And it's just like, and it's good food. It's not like I'm starving myself. I'm eating a nice portion of food, and I don't drink a lot of soda anymore, which was my worst habit. Was I drink a 2 liter of soda a day. Was before, and now I barely touch the stuff, if anything, and just a lot of water and just a lot of just just taking care of yourself, being motivated. I don't take any medicine or nothing. People ask me if I was using Ozempic or Zapic or something like that. It's like that weight loss thing that I go, no, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know what it was until about 3 weeks ago. I was like, no, is that something?
Like
and
a weight loss
supplement? New weight loss thing that people are taking that I guess works really well. So, but it's expensive. My daughter told me that some of the people at her work use that, but it's like really expensive. I go, well, I don't have a lot of money, so it ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Right. Well, I was going to ask you what's been some of your motivation for wanting to do so, but I think you've pretty much explained it. Your family and wanting to be in better shape to be able to do the things that you want to do and be able to enjoy life better. Would that pretty much sum it up?
Yeah, just yeah. I mean, there's, I want to live a nice, healthy life, and I want to, Sam passed away a couple of years ago, and that hit home, and he, obviously his health wasn't that good. He didn't really take really good care of himself, and so that bothered me. And then of course, and not to any fault of her own, our friend Jennifer from Comics Will Break Your Heart, she's battling cancer and stuff, and she's in her mid-30s and stuff, and when you start losing friends that are your age or younger, or people your age or younger start getting sick, because you don't really think about it when you're younger, but when you start, it's like, oh, I wonder how my friend, John is doing from high school. Oh, John passed away. It's like, oh shit, it's like stuff like that started happening. And my buddy Damon, who is my best friend, he doesn't do comics or nothing like that and stuff, but his younger sister passed away like a year ago, Megan. I knew her since she was like 3 years old,
That's horrible.
And she's the younger sister of him and us and stuff like that. So it's like, when you see like that, it's like, what, there's stuff I can do, because honestly, the food now is, and it kills you. The food that is served to us now. You go to a McDonald's or a fast food, that stuff kills you, man. That stuff, the processed food, it's all bad for you. I think Joe Rogan showed a picture of people at the beach in the 50s, and next to a picture of people at the beach now. And like all the people in the 50s were like trim and fit and looked good, and like there was just the same amount of people. And now there's a lot of people that are, let's just say, unhealthy, It's like, what? Okay, so what has changed over those years? What has changed from the 50s to now? Well, it's our diet. It's our food. Food is, it's not, it's processed. It's a lot of, I don't want to get too preachy about that stuff, but take care of yourself, everybody. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Take care of yourselves. We don't want to lose any more people. We've lost enough people in this community. I don't want to lose anybody else.
Yeah.
But where do you go from here as far as making sure you stay fit and healthy?
Just more of the same, just today, like I've already walked my, 6 miles today and stuff, and it's funny because where I'm at, I'm camping out this, it's called LTVA. It's a long-term visitor area where people can camp out in Arizona and stuff. So there's a few people around me, but you all have your space, it's not like they're crammed in here, but I could see the people around me, and they've been here for a while, and they see me walking around like all the time. I'm like walking up and down and stuff like that. I'm out in out in the desert. I come back and stuff, and they're always just sitting there in their chair. I don't think I see these people move at all.
That's sad.
And I'm like, some people come out here. They come out here to die. I don't know what it is. I came out here to live.
Yeah,
and
that's great. That's a great way to put it too. I like that. It's
just a different theory. So I wish them the best, but I mean, they're literally just sitting in their chair all day long, just hanging out and stuff. It's nice. I get it, but let's go enjoy our surroundings. Absolutely. But I'm motivated in general, just being a grandfather, taking care of myself, knowing that there's something new around every corner, and I want to enjoy it.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to. Definitely.
Yeah.
I noticed you got
too many years not doing nothing. So
yeah, and I wanted to get to that with the YouTube video that you dropped recently, but I wanted to talk about the addition of a new little play toy that I've noticed you gotten over the past year. You got this drone that I noticed you've been playing around with. You've been getting some good footage on that drone. How's that been?
I have two drones. I have a DJI Mini 2 Pro, which is the one I got a couple of years ago, or maybe
you've had one for a while.
Yeah, I've had that one for a while, and that one is really cool, and they're really easy to fly. They fly like they're on rails. You'd have to be an idiot to crash that thing. I've had some cheaper drones, and they suck. So if you're looking to get a drone, spend the extra couple $100 more and get the DJI, because it will literally, like I said, it flies like it's on rails. It's great. And then my newest, yeah, for sure. But my newest drone is called the Hover X1, and it's a remoteless drone, and which is really cool. It just follows you. It has preset things. What it does, it scans you, and then it follows you. So if I'm hiking up a mountain and I'm sitting there at the top of the mountain, I just take this drone out, I put it in my palm of my hand, I just tell it to do a orbit 360, and it goes by itself. It shoots out, does a 360, and comes back and lands in my hand.
What? That's cool.
And then then you can also say, hey, follow, and there's a follow mode, and it just follows you. So if you're walking up a mountain, it'll just follow behind you. It'll be about 3 feet up above your head and about 10 feet back. It'll just follow you. And so those are awesome. I've been using that quite a bit, and I like that drone a lot, because it's like having a camera crew with me. But I don't, it just does it. The only kind of bad thing is the batteries only last about 10-12 minutes on those, because it's so little, it's so light, so you don't get a lot of use. But it's a quick charge, so it charges in only about 20 minutes. So, but I have two batteries. But yeah, if you see any of the footage where it's like an orbit or in and out shot or a follow shot, it's that drone that follows me. Anything that you see like a longer shot, like that's flying or zooming by or something, or going out over the landscape, that's my DJI Mini. And and I use them both, so they're kind of nice to have. So
yeah, I'm sure they come in handy. It looks really cool. You've been getting some really good footage out in the deserts and stuff. That's why I brought it up, because I noticed some really good footage here recently. But speaking of good footage,
I have a lot of fun.
It looks like it. I wish I had one. I got to get one of those things. But speaking of good footage, you've stayed pretty consistent as far as your content. You still drop the weekly videos, keeping us informed on what's dropping this week. I was watching one of your videos earlier, and what can we expect in 2024 on your channel? You got anything new that's coming up that you might want to talk about?
Well, obviously, me and Bob are going to be doing the Coffee and Comics live thing. That's just kind of that's right after the show, just like a half hour after the show.
Yes.
And really looking forward to just getting Bob back on the channel and talking. Because honestly, everywhere I go, people say, hey, how's Bob doing? How's Bob doing? I go to Orlando. People come up to me, oh, Bueller, I watch your show. How's Bob? That's the second question.
We love Bob.
It's like, nice to meet you. How's Bob? That's what I get. So I said, what, let's get Bob on here, so people can kind of touch base and stuff. And so we're going to do a Coffee and Comics, a light version. We actually have the segments and stuff, but it's remote. It'll be similar to what me and Scott are doing right now. And so it'll be a little bit different, but we're going to have some fun and kind of go from there. But there is a new show that I wrote the script for it. And when I say script, I mean like the intro and the outro and kind of how the plot, how it goes. And it's called Yes or No, the Spec Show.
Yes or No, the Spec
And
Show.
because I still get to this day, people ask me, "Oh, how much are these worth, or what should I invest in?" And my honest answer is, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't. That's not my cup of tea. But I do know how to make something entertaining and something that people might enjoy to watch. And so if I can source some of the other information from those other channels or websites that do the speculation and stuff, I can put my own spin on that and make a show out of it. And whether they get butthurt about it or not, I could care less. It's all in good fun. And since YouTube have loosened the reins on what you can say on YouTube now, as far as profanity, and still be monetized, I'm going to take advantage of that.
Yes.
And so if you
more custom.
I don't know if you ever watched the show that me and Sam did, the BS show.
Yeah, I did.
But we're going to bring some elements of the BS and throw it into a speculation show. And just kind of have some fun with it, and be very upfront about, hey, this is for entertainment purposes. Don't take this seriously. This is just me having fun, showing my personality. And but it comes with the territory. Some of those other people or channels, they do get butthurt really easily. They're very sensitive and stuff. And you know what? I'm okay with
hilarious.
it. They'll be fine. And
they'll be fine.
I'm really excited to do that show. It's like I said, I have the script, and I was just like, I wrote it out. I think it's on here. But yeah, I mean, I wrote out a bunch of stuff on here that for the intro.
Okay.
So I mean, it'll be fun, and there's just a bunch of different stuff, and I think that it's either going to come out on Mondays or Fridays. I don't know for sure. Yeah, Hack is really sensitive. I met that guy in person, and he came over to my house. He actually started crying when he came to my house. He's like, "I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm here." And you know what? I go, "Believe it, you're here." And then I said, "Could you please leave?"
Yes, that is awesome. I love hearing stories when you meet different people in the community. So we learned a story about Hack. He's a very sensitive guy.
But it's going to be a lot of fun. I think people are going to like it. I think people are going to get a couple laughs out of it and stuff, because I used to do my top 10 list, and my top 10 list was very light. It was very light on why they were my top 10, and people kind of had fun because I used to do the tagline, "I'm all jacked up on coffee," and I used to talk really loud, and I used to like the reason why this book is good is because the guy is looking for a hole, and it's always hard to find the hole. But in this one, the hole always tells the truth. So if you're looking for a book that's about a hole that tells the truth, this is the book for you. Which makes no sense. That's not like, what the hell is he talking about? But that was like why it was on my top 10 list. And so I just had fun with it. So I kind of want to do the same thing with a spec-based show, based off the stupid information that we get from the other channel.
that sounds awesome. That sounds really funny. I'm looking forward to that. And John's Comics with Kids, we got John popping up in the chat. Says, "Oh man, who is this punk? This is the guy we have to thank for that awful John's Comics with Kids guy." Wow. So did you give John the push into the YouTube creating game?
His very first video was a response to one of my giveaways when I first started doing the channel.
Okay.
And so that's what he kind of gave him. We talked offline. I kind of gave him some pointers and stuff to kind of do a channel. And of course, he went from there on his own and did awesome.
John's killing it.
John is, he's a pillar in the community. Everybody knows who he is. He's really important.
He's a great dude.
He used to rely a lot on his daughters to carry the weight. For the first 6 months of let's say the first year and a half, he let his daughters carry the weight of the channel. Eventually, he had to say, "Well, I guess I got to step up because my daughters are getting a little tired of hanging out with dad." So now it's just John and comics. So But you know what? Over the years, and I take a lot of pride in this. I've tried to make myself available to help people out that wanted to kind of jump in this arena to do YouTube. And I know that a lot of people have started, because they watch some of my videos or somebody else's videos and stuff. And I've said this before, and people ask me, "Oh, what position, or I don't know if I'm phrasing this right. What do you see yourself as, like an ambassador for comic book and YouTube?" And I say, "Well, I kind of look at myself as the doorman." And they're like, "Well, what do you mean?" I go, "I'm the guy at the door. I just hold the door open and tell people to come on in and find whatever you like, And I remember I said that phrase to Reggie one time, and Reggie's like, "Well, I don't want to be the doorman." And I go, "I get it." But I go, but that's kind of the way I looked at it. So I just want to be the guy that's holding the door open and telling people to come on in. And once you get in, you can find whatever you want, whether it's my stuff or somebody else's stuff. But somebody has to be there to hold the door open and say, "Come on in, man. Everyone's welcome." And that's kind of the way I looked at myself. So,
and you've been a great mentor to many people. You've really helped me out a lot with this channel, and I really appreciate it. I know a lot of other people, such as John, appreciate it as well. John says, "I try to pay that forward and help as many people as I can with tech and assistance," and that is true. John's actually helped me himself before. John's helped my channel as well, so he is paying it forward, and it is important that we all pay it forward to newer channels that are coming in. So I'm trying to do that myself. As I learn, I try to show other people, and that's important. But you do a good job of that, Bueller. You've always been really good about that.
Can I want to speak on that real quick, and I want to just say something real fast.
Okay.
For the newer channels or channels that have been out there, and I just want to tell people, don't be afraid to take a risk and just kind of go for it. I get people, I don't know if I want to do a YouTube channel. I don't know how to start or whatnot. And you don't have to do the cookie cutter stuff, that everyone else does and stuff. Just whatever you think about doing, just go for it. Take a risk. And if you fail, so what? Who cares? If nobody watches, at least you tried it, but don't hesitate to do it, because every day you hesitate is the day you wasted. And you just kind of go for it. Put yourself out there. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know if you're gonna meet your best friend because of the YouTube video that you did, 3 years ago. I never would have met Bob if I didn't do YouTube, and he's one of my best friends. I never would have met John Stout. I never would have met Damian Sleepy Reader. I never would have met Sam. And all these people are some of my best friends. I never would have met any of these guys. I mean, I'm talking about people I know in person without doing YouTube, and taking that chance and making a video and replying to a comment. So, I mean, anything that, it's YouTube isn't just about getting the views and getting the, subscribers and monetize and stuff like that. It's also about building relationships with people with like minds and stuff that kind of go a long way and make a difference in your life.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the most important things that I've been able to take away from all this, to be honest. That's one of the reasons I did that video, why YouTube saved my life. It's because it gave me purpose, something to do, but it also introduced me to a whole group of people that I really enjoyed spending time with.
And that's a great segue into my next question. I actually really wanted to ask you about that video. You dropped this video recently, a couple weeks ago, and it was titled "How YouTube Saved My Life." And it was a real personal video, and it was a real touching video. I really, really enjoyed it, and I really took a lot from it. What made you decide to go so personal and do something like that? Because that was a little bit of a change. I mean, you've done some stuff like that, but it was I felt like a good reintroduction to Bueller, and it was just a really touching thing, man. I really enjoyed it.
Well, there's a few reasons why I wanted to do it. For one, I wanted to make a video like that for quite some time, and I just didn't know exactly when the right time to do it was. So a few things came together. For one, it was literally, this month I've been on YouTube now for 6 full years. And so it was right around my anniversary. So I figured, that's a good time. For two, I just got back from Orlando, spending time with fellow YouTubers, friends, and just hanging out and just enjoying that, and just kind of sitting back and realizing that time in my life that I get to spend with those guys is all because of what I've done on YouTube and meeting those people, like I said, building those relationships and stuff. And I look forward to that every year, going down there and hanging out with those guys. And And another thing is, being out in the desert, you get a lot of time to kind of dwell on stuff. You think to yourself, and so I thought a lot, and I mentioned earlier, I have a grandson on the way this year. So a lot of things in my life right now, I kind of look at things. It's like, you know what, now's a good time. And also I've met a lot of people on the road that aren't really comic book people, but they're like, oh, you have a YouTube channel? I'll go check it out. I tell them, you really don't need to. I go, if you're not really into comics, don't, it's not really probably for you, and, and stuff. And because I don't really believe in empty subs. I don't care about how many subs I have. I just care about people that watch the videos. I don't want to make stuff that people don't want to watch. Okay. So the sub count, I don't really care about that, to be honest. Okay. But I wanted to make a video to those people that don't watch for the comic book stuff, and they would kind of get to know me another way, because they've just met me in my travels. Hey, I'm camping down here as well. Let's go on a hike and stuff like that. Oh, you do YouTube and stuff. I go, oh, I watched your video, but comics, it's not really my thing. I get it. So I wanted to make a video that was personal, that kind of introduced me to them as well, and told the whole story in general for everyone to kind of see how everything has played out over the last 6 years. And because I'm just in a really good place right now to talk about it, I've always wanted to share it, and I don't have a problem sharing it. And I just thought it would be a good time to do it, Mm-hmm. And it was, and the response that I got from it was just amazing. I mean, there's hundreds of comments on there, and I honestly, I take a moment and I'll go and I'll read a few, and then I gotta take a break, because some of them are very personal. Some of them are very, like Bueller, hey, just so you know, I'm kind of going through the same thing, or went through the same thing. So I'll read like a handful, and I'll take a break and stuff, and I'll go back a few days later and read some more, because there's so many. And then I got a bunch of messages on my Instagram, and I got emails from people and stuff, people telling me like, hey, I like what you said about how life isn't ending, it's just beginning, and there's a new chapter every day. And so there's a lot of stuff like that. So it was really personal to me to make that video and to get the response it did. Eventually I'm going to respond to every comment, but honestly, I mean, I shared a couple tears reading some of the comments and stuff like that. So it's a little heavy to read every now and then. So I screenshot some of the ones that kind of really stand out, so I have them kind of in a file and everything. But it was really important for me to share, because I know that mental health, and you talk about it quite a bit and stuff, and I think that it really is a thing. And I think people do tend to kind of think, oh, maybe that's all there is. And if anything, if I can be an example that that's not all there is, there's a lot more out there, and share that story, and maybe it does some good, because I was in a really bad place. I was not healthy. I was not happy. I was depressed and stuff like that. And I just had no direction and stuff. And I didn't know things were going to turn around because of a comic shop that opened up down the street. That's what it was. Comic shop opened up down the street, and the ball started rolling. It's like, shit, it's let's do this, and here I am, a 2-time guest on the Scott Vaughn channel. So there you go.
Yes, sir. Among many other achievements.
There you go.
That's like right at the bottom of the barrel somewhere in the achievement file. But
it's on the list.
Man, it is. I guess it is. It's somewhere on there. If it's at the bottom. But
it's not quite up there. Man. It's not quite up there with being a grandpa or something.
No.
Or the two girls I met in Florida. It's not quite there either.
No.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
I can't compete with that. I can't compete with all that. But you're here with me tonight, hanging out. So that's something right there. And you are, man. You're touching so many people. I appreciate you. I know all these people in the chat appreciate you. And I'm just glad you're here tonight. I'm glad to be seeing you reunite with Bob. I think that's something people have wanted to see for a long time. And we're going to get to see it tonight, y'all. So what do you think you guys are going to talk about? What do you guys, I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't want to steal y'all stuff, but what do you think you guys will be talking about a little bit?
Well, it's like I said, it's going to be a kind of a light version. But if anyone who watched the Coffee and Comics show that we used to do, there used to be segments in the show. There was a first five, final five. We're gonna kind of bring that back. We have a Was It Good segment, and so we're actually gonna do the Was It Good. We actually have a loose topic that will actually talk about something in the comic book industry. Okay. And then mainly we're gonna do a random thoughts, and that's pretty much just getting caught up with each other, just and reminisce about the coffee video and how it came to be, and what it meant to us and the people who watched, and and stuff like that. And obviously we'll probably be drinking coffee and stuff.
Yeah.
And just kind of go from there. I sent some messages to Bob today, and he's all in and stuff, and
good to go.
He has some stuff for the Was It Good, and I got a couple things for the Was It Good and stuff, and nice. And we're just gonna have some fun. Like I said, people ask me about Bob all the time, and as you probably noticed, Bob really doesn't do YouTube anymore. He hasn't put a video out in probably a year or so.
Yeah, he's been MIA.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is with Bob, he's a busy guy. He's a father, he's a grandfather, he's a husband. He has a full-time job and responsibilities and stuff like that. And so I mean, life. He's living life. He's got to take care of his business and stuff. So when you got a plate, sometimes stuff like this, it's not in the cards for the time being. I made it really easy for Bob to be involved. It was very, very easy for Bob to just, hey, Bob, just show up, man. I got everything covered. Just show up on Saturday for a couple of hours. We'll hang out. We'll have a good time. He's like, okay. That's what it was. He didn't really. I go bring 10 comics and show up. But he's like, okay, I can do that. And so it's really easy for Bob to kind of be involved in that show. And I really made an effort for it to be easy for him because I knew he had a full plate. And he'd come over, he'd sit down, we'd say hi and take a sip of coffee, and off we went, man. We were to the races, and just we made the Coffee and Comics into the best comic book show there ever was, ever will be. I think I'm still in a Bret Hart line right there, but
maybe
stuff like that. So,
but I agree. And you guys had a chemistry. You played off of each other, and that's something I've learned on a live stream. You can't plan out things like that. You can't plan the type of chemistry that you guys had when you would cut up together and on the Coffee and Comics, and that's part of what I love about it. And I'm really looking forward to that again, man. I can't tell you how much I'm excited about that. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for every comic and coffee video or Coffee and Comics video there was probably another hour of the show that was never seen because we had to cut it because it was. I mean, we'd sit there and hang out for 2 or 3 hours, just talking. So there's like another hour of footage for every show that you saw that I just never put it in there, and I don't have it. I deleted it. I never kept any of that stuff. But there's literally, other comments that were read, other discussions that were had, but literally I'd say on average 45 minutes to an hour of content more that was never seen by anyone but just me and Bob in the moment and stuff. So I mean, just
no blooper reels in the future.
no, we deleted those. There was a lot of F-bombs in the blooper reel and stuff. So
man, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. So
that would have been cool. We got about 6 minutes left. If any of you guys have any questions that you would like to ask Bueller, feel free to ask. And have you read any good books lately? Have you been reading anything this past year that stuck out to you?
I don't get to read much, and I really don't take advantage of the digital copies that are sent my way from the publishers, and I really probably should, to be honest, because I've been wanting to read the Ultimate Spider-Man and stuff like that, and I have some digital copies, but I haven't read them. But I did recently read the Thundercats book because I picked up a copy of the Rob Liefeld cover when I was in Albuquerque, and I read that recently, and I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was decent.
Yeah, I thought the artwork inside wasn't that great, and I thought it definitely could have been a little bit better. It was a little more cartoony for me, which is it's based on a cartoon, so I guess I can't be complaining. So I just,
True.
you know what I mean. So, And then I also read Duke #1, which I really enjoyed that. And I love, yeah, I thought that was really good, really well done. Really made me, because I have issue 1 and 2, and it really made me want to read issue 2 right away. And I can probably do that tonight. But I really enjoyed Duke, and but also the same thing with that one. I didn't think the artwork inside was very good either. And
I didn't care for
the
interior art.
A little lackluster, so I thought they could have done better. But those two I read, I enjoyed them. I did read the Fire and Ice last year. It's been on delay. I don't know what the hell's going on as far as when the next issue is coming out. 2 came out like 3 months later, then 3 is supposed to come out. I don't know when, but I did like Fire and Ice. I thought that was pretty good.
Okay, I've seen that one.
And then I got my buddy Ivan from Albuquerque. He gave me the big, huge omnibus of the Savage Avengers latest volume, and it's the whole series. And I heard I think it's by Jerry Duggan.
Yep.
And so I have that, and I want to start reading that, because I just got that, and I remember Sam telling me that was a really good series, and he really enjoyed it. So I want to read that. So that's kind of on my reading list. But I do want to kind of get into the whole Energon. Is it Energon universe? Is that what they're called?
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So I missed out on some of the. I got to get the Transformers. I got to get the Cobra Commander. But next time I get back into where some shops are, probably when I get back to Oregon in a few weeks, I'll probably go pick those up, because I want to get caught up, because I really like Duke #1. I thought that was awesome.
And
yeah,
all the titles were good.
Yeah, getting that universe kind of going on. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's pretty good across the board. You really can't go wrong with any of those titles, to be honest with you. I feel like the interiors, my least favorite is Duke. But I feel like the rest of the interiors are all pretty good. The stories are all great. It's been fun.
He's got a question.
Jonathan was wanting to know, are you into D&D at all?
So let me tell you, I don't play D&D, but there's this comic book called Dream Master that's available from Black Box Comics. And also there's another comic book called Capable that should be coming out. And there's other stuff in the works from this creator, Jonathan. But just because I don't play D&D doesn't mean that you can't like comic books, right? So there you go.
Right. Jonathan's an amazing writer, you guys. If you've never checked him out, he is the writer of The Recount. He's wrote Dream Master, Capable. What was the one? What was the other one I'm reading?
There was hyperspace. Was it hyperspace or hyper something? And then there was
another one that was really good. Quicksand. Quicksand is really good. Many titles, many writer of many good titles. So check him out, you guys. JonathanHedrickComics.com.
Yeah.
Dope writer, really good writer. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us, Jonathan. And I appreciate you, Bueller, so much, man. I think we had another question. What is this from Dope Comics? My favorite Bueller story. Ask him about the old spinner rack, and where is it now?
The old spinner rack is actually with Bob. I gave it. I didn't give it to Bob. I said, Bob, can you take care of this for me? And since so Bob has my spinner rack. It's not his, and if he tells you differently, he's wrong. It's still mine. It's just obviously I can't take a spinner rack with me on the bus.
Yeah.
And I had intentions to try to take it, but it was just like space is at a premium on the bus, and that's useless waste of space, to be honest, on the bus. So
do you keep a short? What do you keep, like a short box with you?
I have, like, underneath where I'm sitting is a bench, and inside there it's a storage, and everything that I'm sitting on right now are all my comic books that I take with me. And I probably have maybe 2 short boxes of comics with me. One short box is literally books that I just give away, like Black Box Comics and stuff that they've sent, or my exclusive. I give those away to people or whoever want them and stuff like that. And the other box is other books that I was trying to I pick up here and there and stuff. So I don't take a lot with me. I only have like 4 or 5 or probably 6 short boxes of books left, and those are back in my storage unit. And that's it. That's all I have in my collection. It's very small.
Oh, okay. Well, we are at the hour mark right now, and I don't want to keep you too much longer because I know you got the Coffee and Comics with Bob coming up. But I did want to know, do you have anything coming up in the near future that we haven't talked about? What do you got coming up in the next couple of weeks?
I do. I'm probably going to be doing an interview with the writer of the new title Space Ghost for Dynamite.
Nice. Very cool.
So they'll be on the channel. I think I'm doing an interview with them on Thursday, and I'll edit it, probably have it out on the weekend.
Nice.
We do the claim sales on Thursday with Dynamite, and
those are fun. Those are fun.
Yeah. So we're doing that, and like we've been doing for the last 2 months, January and February, all of my commission, because I get a percentage of the sales that they sell. But 100% of my commission I'm donating to Jennifer from Comics Will Break Your Heart. And we've been doing that for the whole month of January and February. So all my commission for those 2 months, whatever that amount will be at the end, that's going to go to Jen. And we did that last year when she first started her GoFundMe. And we did that for a couple months back then. So I wanted to start the year off and do it again. And so we'll raise a little bit of money for Jen. So, and send it her way. So that's Thursday. We do that Thursday. And just the weekly preview video. And then obviously I think more than likely on Monday next week will be that first yes or no, the speculation show or the spec show.
Okay.
And that I'll be curious to see what people think about that.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be fun. I know I'm looking forward to it. And some John Stout was asking, Jonathan Hedrick's book with Francesca comes out soon. Yes, it actually does. It was on pre-order a couple weeks ago, so it should be dropping soon. But you know, with the indie titles, sometimes they get delays. But hopefully it'll be out in the next couple weeks. And it looks really good, y'all. The artwork, it's going to blow you away. It looks really, really good. So definitely check that out. It's called Can I Scream? And it's going to be in stores everywhere in a couple weeks, hopefully.
Francesca, she put out an art book, and with all her artwork and stuff in there a few months back. And one of the commissioned pieces that she did for John Stout is actually in that art book.
Oh, wow.
Which is really cool. And there's a blurb in there from me talking about her artwork as well. So it's kind of cool.
That is a really cool little tidbit. That's nice to know. So if you guys want to check out the art book, there you go. But Bueller, man, thank you. You've been so awesome, dude. You've been awesome to me just in general, my whole YouTube career, but you've been really cool coming out to hang out with us tonight on this busy night where you already had a live stream going. And I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me in this community and the comic book community in general, man. Thank you.
Well, Scott, it was an honor, man. You know, we met a while back. You were sneaking around my bus. I felt really weird. Some dude out. No, I had the privilege to meet you in person. It was an honor, and I think that was before you started your YouTube journey, or very shortly.
Very beginning.
Yeah, and you know, you've done a great job, man. I really enjoy watching your shows and your guests and stuff. And I'm, you know, you should be proud of yourself because I'm proud of you too. So I mean, you're doing awesome, man. So keep up the good work, man. You're a part of the community, and you're making it a better place.
Well, I appreciate that, and I also appreciate all you guys that came to hang out with us tonight. I really do, man. You guys were awesome. The chat was popping. Thank you guys so much. Big shout out to Jonathan Hedrick. Big shout out to John Stout, Digger Jim, Dope Comics, Hack, all you guys that came out to hang out with us tonight. I really appreciate you. And anybody checking out the replay, I'm currently pretty close to monetization. We'll get there pretty soon. But by watching this, you guys are helping me. So thank you so much. I love you guys. And we will end how we always do with a little bit of Biggie Shack. But y'all be sure to go check out Between the Lines. We got some Between the Lines coming on and on Geek Out with Roscoe. I think it's starting right now. And then we got Coffee and Comics starting shortly on Comics with Bueller's channel. So y'all be sure to check that out. And if I can find my clip here, we'll end it with some Biggie like we always do. See you guys next week. I will have special guest Morpheus Multiverse. So it's going to be a really good motivational show. So y'all come back next week. Later, guys.
I'd say that one is a banger, man. It's a real certified banger, dude.